All right, let's get going here. As soon as the last couple percent of the loading get finished. There we go. Better. And get these flight sticks set up just right. Let's get away from that probe droid so I don't have to listen to it grumbling to itself constantly. Okay. Now, the plan for today is to actually get things done instead of just flying around doing not much, which is kind of what I did yesterday. Oh. First, indeed you are. Alrighty. You're probably not going to be able to stick around long for this one, though. Same game I was playing yesterday. Okay, so there's the Customs Corvette. We'll leave the TIE Defender parked there. I should send the Acclimator back and load up on module prefabs so you have lots of them around the area. Hello, Reshiwashi. Welcome here. Go ahead and load up with stuff. Namely a couple thousand module prefabs. Yeah, sure. Am I winning? I don't know, I just got started. It's too early to tell. I think I'm gonna start parking ships here as kind of a hub area, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and grab the Gozanti transport, which is currently sitting around doing nothing. We'll send that to Hoth as well. Go ahead and transfer wares with the Oops, and we'll load up with Durasteel plates. I think we're just going to load up all our freighters with station parts and then park them in space over here until we're ready to start building another station. And then the BFF can do the exact same thing. I think we'll pick up more Durasteel plates. Yeah. Hello, Colo. Can I name ships in this game? Yeah, I can indeed. And I even have rules for chat to name them, which are pretty simple. If you want to name a ship, every person is allowed to have one combat ship, which we don't have very many combat ships to name, so it's not really a thing that is happening yet. Or in fact, I don't really think there are any combat ships worth naming currently. Allowed one civilian ship, which we do have a few options, and allowed to name one station, which currently we have one unnamed station left. The Bespin Solar Power Plant doesn't have a name. And names are all of the form so-and-so's whatever. So, for example, our latest station here is named Ash's Sunspot, because Ash wanted to name it Sunspot, and so there we go. I will very occasionally deviate from that, but it has to be pretty exceptional. Because, for example, we had Survey's emotional damage over here, but I sold the emotional damage, so to make it up to Survey, we have the Oops Survey did it again. You want the big bastard? Let's see. We do have a large Well, let's see. We have a construction ship available, 2 of them, and we have a large transport available, an acclimator class transport. So, would you like to have a transport, a station, or a construction ship? Because all of those would be quite appropriate for Big Bastard. I pick. We'll name the transport. Because it is a pretty big transport. So we will name it Ted's Big Bastard. Confirm. There we go. That's probably the most nameable thing we have around here, except the 2 builders. And the station, of course. Death by Af. Well, Af hasn't showed up, so Af doesn't get anything named after him. Anyway. Oh, let's see. What to do? What to do? I should be trying to make money so I can buy combat ships and take this place so I can start building in it. I need to get more Imperial reputation is what I need. Can't think of one to give up. You'll get there eventually. Unless somebody else gets there first. But nobody seems too enthused about naming things recently. Okay. Let's go north 1 system.
Jump beacon, Virgo. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
And let's see if I can get some positive rep with the Imperials. But I really do need more rep, and probably the fastest way to gain rep in a hurry that involves me directly is going to be just running around on criminal patrol. Washies, Rushy Washies, rub-a-dub. I do reserve the right to turn names down if I think they're too silly.
Factory.
Or don't like them for some reason. Although that one might be funny enough that it would pass. Well. Visibility, forward visibility in the cockpit just isn't quite as good as in the Defender. But we do have sideways visibility, which is nice.
Maintenance vessel.
And more maneuverability sometimes. Although I'm an expert in messing up that maneuverability. What do you think you're doing? There we go. Yeah, I'll just let you think about it for a while longer. It's not like anybody else is jumping up to name the station. Okay.
High-tech factory.
Now.
Short-range transporter.
I wonder if they turned up the spawn rate or something, because these are popping awfully fast.
Thanks for your help.
Let's go over there.
Ship technology factory. Docking aborted.
Anyway. Sometimes I will name a ship or something. Just come up with a name myself, but that doesn't happen very often nowadays. I too suck at naming things, and it's easier just to blame it on chat when things don't have names.
Thank you.
Hello, Caesar.
Thank you.
Welcome here.
Short range transporter.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Get back here. The guns get on target way faster on this. Mount Rushmore.
High-tech factory.
Yes, hail Caesar. I was just saying that if I let chat name things, that way I can blame it on chat when things don't have a name.
Thank you.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, here's an acclimator transport right here, by the way. Not ours, but it is a acclimator transport. Fairly chunky ship. Well, someday something will spawn here.
Maintenance vessel.
I'm getting spoiled by their fast spawns. Oh. The guns get on target way faster on this than they do in the Defender. Let's go over there
Smart chip
next.
Factory.
Oh, see you later, Ashiwashi. In space corrupted by capitalism, indeed. Someday I will play Red Alert 3 on stream.
Identifying criminal vessels.
Short range
Bunny Bell.
transporter.
Ding. I was watching AF earlier today for a little bit before I started stream, and it's like, you know, he really needs a bell. I need to be able to ring a bell to draw his attention when he's not reading chat.
Microchip factory.
And to spam it to annoy him when he is reading chat. Oh well.
Docking granted. Docking aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Yeah.
Docking granted.
Thank you.
I try not to mangle words when I'm reading out loud, but AF is an expert at it. I do have to admit.
Maintenance vessel.
Yeah, I think channel points are locked by
Docking
affiliate,
granted.
aren't they? Damn it, hold still. There we go. Technically, you could probably just tie it to a chat command. I don't remember what the service I use is to react to stuff in chat. I'm actually gonna look at it right now. Which one of these tabs is it? This one, I think. It's called Trigger Fire. with fire spelled weird, aka with a Y. I think they have run chat commands and a whole bunch of different stuff.
Thanks for your help.
So you could probably do a like exclamation mark bell or something like that that would play sounds. It wasn't hard to set up and it's been quite reliable. A Y instead of the I. So FYRE. It's weird, yes, but
High-tech factory.
they didn't ask me. Yeah, right like that. I'm kind of curious if they can do overlays for what do I call it? Events like subscriber or new follower.
Short-range transporter.
I haven't really checked that out because I would like to get rid of stream elements because they're, I don't know, it's just not working very well.
Docking aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
It pops up the messages, I think, but it doesn't appear to play sounds when I get an
Ship
alert.
technology factory.
I don't know if it plays sounds for you guys, but it certainly doesn't for me, and it's supposed to. Because I carefully set it up so it's supposed to mirror that stuff to me. Anyway. I suspect it probably doesn't play any sounds for you guys either.
Thanks for your help.
I think it's set up to do it for
Docking granted.
follows and raids and all that stuff. None of those play any sound at all.
Docking aborted.
Yeah, I just use plain old OBS as much as I can. I know you want to name lots and lots of things, but
Maintenance vessel.
we don't currently have any combat ships to name. Not really, anyway. We do have a few dinky little fighters. But I don't really want to name fighters because they're pretty disposable. Unless they're like my personal fighter or something.
Docking aborted.
Oh, let's see.
Defense platform.
Well, eventually we're running groups of like around 100 fighters, so naming them then becomes effectively impossible.
Thank you.
The payout for shooting down a fighter in this mod is really low. It's only 1,500. Also, our reputation is still at 14. We're getting very little reputation this way.
Docking granted.
Bonk. Uh-oh. We phased through the hall. Let me out! Let me out! Okay. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's see if we can... There we go. Usually if you back up into it, you can get out eventually.
Short range transporter.
Let's see. There it is. Phew. Oh, see you later. Have a good night.
Durasteel foundry. Docking aborted.
I wish I could turn off the automatic docking. Sometimes it's really nice, but when I'm outside of the docking area, just buzzing around, it's annoying. Yeah.
Maintenance vessel.
Streamlabs.
Thanks for your help.
Well, a while ago there was a good bit of drama about Streamlabs and
Thanks for your
OBS.
help.
Namely, Streamlabs is trying to steal the OBS name for themselves. There we go, plus 15. Which makes me not think very well of them. Made a lot of people not think very well of them, for that matter. Which is actually the reason why I don't use Streamlabs for my alerts. But I don't really like Stream Elements either, because it doesn't seem to work for shit. It kind of works, but
Docking aborted.
yeah. I probably ought to just sit down and write my own software for that stuff. It's not like it's insanely complicated or anything what they're doing.
Plasma conductor factory.
I just need to figure out how to write a Twitch bot, which isn't hard. It's just IRC over WebSockets.
Thank you. Thank you.
You thought it was the same company with new format for beginners? That is what Streamlabs wants you to think.
Short range transporter.
OBS isn't even a company, it's a organization.
Docking granted.
Kind of. It's a, not even really sure what legally OBS is.
Aborted.
It's an open source project, basically. And Streamlabs has been taking
High-tech
OBS,
factory.
tweaking it a little bit, rebranding it, and then offering it that way. Which, I'm not sure if their OBS is actually easier to use or not, but they certainly claim it is.
Thank you.
OBS is pretty easy to use software, really.
Thank you.
Docking aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
But anyway,
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
the hard part, for me anyway, of getting everything set up was getting my audio set up right. Okay. Because I spent a rather large amount of time carefully splitting all my audio up and
Docking granted. Docking
forcing it to
aborted.
behave exactly the way I wanted it to. I use OBS for my auto filtering.
Docking granted.
So if,
Docking
for example,
aborted.
I'm playing a game with AF or something, and you hear me talking through Discord,
Short range transporter.
my audio will have went through OBS and back out to Discord. Oops.
Docking granted.
Would you please? There we go. Because I actually pre-filter my audio before I let Discord have it,
Docking aborted.
which is a little complicated. Not too bad, though. Okay.
Ship
Let's go over
technology
there.
factory.
Actually, let's yeah, let's go over there next. We are slowly getting reputation. At this point, getting more reputation is a kind of a slow process. But I would really like to get to 20. We're probably gonna need to do more trade volume with the Empire to do that, honestly.
you.
But hopefully, them buying from my station will
Thank you.
solve that problem quite handily. And hey, in the meantime, I get to do fun things like fly around stations.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
With a more maneuverable ship than my old one, for that matter.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Supposedly this thing accelerates faster than the Defender. I don't really know if it feels that way. It seems to lose speed more quickly, is I guess the main thing.
Docking grant. Docking aborted.
Which does help if you're flying really close to something. If you start hauling back on the stick to keep whatever it is in your view. Bonk. Oops. Anyway, you can fly around something much more tightly than what you could in the Defender. Anyway. I did hear the little "there's an enemy" pong, but it apparently didn't do anything.
Maintenance vessel.
Hello there. Alright, onward to the next station.
Terrestrial Foundry.
Okay, and there we go.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I really wish there was
Docking
a way to turn off the auto dock,
Thank you.
or the auto dock permission, I guess you should
Thanks
say.
for your help.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Oh, don't want to run into that. I do kind of like this little fighter. Flying in this view is a bit trippy. I better not do that or I will run into things. Bonk. Uh-oh. I'm stuck inside. Help. Oh wait, we got out, I think. Yep, we got out, okay. Okay. Yeah, eventually you might want some of those options,
Docking
but
granted. Docking aborted.
until then,
Ship technology factory.
it'll do exactly what you need to do.
Maintenance vessel.
Okay, I guess we're going back over there. What in the heck is a maintenance vessel doing? What are you doing out here between two stations? Beetle use on Vong Station, lost CR-70 though. I almost lost the
Docking
Pretender
right.
fighting one of those things. I underestimated it a little bit.
Docking aborted.
But I was able to pull back enough for the Pretender to recover and then push back in again. Oh, the Vogue have a lot more teeth than the Oh, what do I call them?
Thank you.
Docking granted. Docking short-range transport.
Thanks for your help.
They seem to have more teeth than the CAC do.
Docking
Yeah.
granted. Docking aborted.
Okay, onward
Silicon
to
refinery
over there, I
plasma
think.
conductor factory.
We're still at plus 15. Not sure we have to how many we have to nail before we go up. I probably should just have more traders and I'm not sure if it counts for plus rep if they buy from our own station.
Thank you.
If I got a miner or two,
Docking granted.
Thank you.
they wouldn't pay out nearly as well as the stations are, but they would definitely give me rep. Do they have anything bigger than a fighter? I don't think so. I don't think so. I haven't seen anything bigger than a fighter. Oh, if they do... Oh. I'm gonna assume they top out at medium. But I haven't seen anything to indicate... Well... Let's go look at the encyclopedia. Okay. So, let's see. There we go. Long version of a starfighter. I didn't see anything in here that I didn't recognize. What is that thing? Oh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks Vong-ish in here. And there definitely wasn't anything bigger than a medium, so...
Thank you.
Anyway,
Thanks for your help.
I know in vanilla, the race that the Vong replaced have a couple different kinds of ship, but they're all kind of small and medium size.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
They don't have any capital ships or anything like that. And they don't really do much damage either.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I think I already blew something up at this station.
High-tech factory.
Onward! Eventually you will reach plus 20. Probably not this way though, I'm likely to get bored before that happens. I'm kind of curious. I wonder if I could position the Pretender close-ish
Identify.
Maintenance vessel. Docking granted.
to the edge of where the Black Sun in that system I want to take aggro. And then try to lure small groups of stuff over there.
Docking aborted.
And let the Pretender pick them off. Where even is the Pretender? That's probably a good question. Okay, the Pretender is safe in Hoth. I'm tempted to pull it out of Hoth and park it here where I'm parking all my... Yeah, let's do that. Is there anything else that's parked in Hoth that doesn't need to be there? I have the Neutron Star class construction ship that I have kitted out as a boarding ship. Let's keep that close with the Pretender for now. It doesn't seem likely that I'll be boarding anything just right away.
Requesting permission to dock.
But who knows?
Permission granted.
Thanks for your help.
It probably should be closer to wherever the Pretender is than anything else.
Thanks for your help.
Okay. Let's go
Ship
over there.
Technology Factory.
Okay. Let's drop out here. Bonk.
Maintenance vessel.
Every time I think I've got the station approach down pat, I forget about the station lag. Go. So this thing has less range on its guns, like range of motion, than the Defender does, but they move faster, so they, if they can line up with an enemy, they line up much more quickly. Which I'm
Factory.
kind of okay with. The Defender does have stronger guns, I think, overall. I should probably take the Defender to a wharf and re-outfit it. 'Cause I can definitely put better shields on it than
Thanks
it
for your
has.
help.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah. The payout for destroying a single fighter is way lower than here than in vanilla. That's a bit unfortunate. I think. Actually, I should probably go find a New Republic or something fighter and blow that up and see if the payout for that is the same as for one of these.
Aborted.
And it might not be. And I don't remember if vanilla had any payout for destroying this stuff
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
on further consideration. It probably did, but I don't remember what it would have been. Okay, somehow didn't hit that. Or that. Do those things even have collision? They probably do. Okay. Upon second thought, maybe they don't.
Short range transporter.
That would explain why we didn't hit them.
Docking granted. Docking aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Okay.
Smart chip factory.
Onward to the next place. So how much money do we have right now? 177 million.
Permission to dock.
That's pretty decent. What is the gun comparison between the Defender and a the Defender is my TIE Defender. The Pretender is a 546 cruiser, which has you know what? Let's actually just load them up in the ship comparator and take a look. Okay, we want size medium. And we want a... Oh... Wait, actually, no, wait, they're size large. I'm an idiot. There we go, 546. Select loadout, high preset. Sure, why not? Confirm. Add ship. Size large. And I can't do high preset because I apparently do not know the mandatory upgrades. I don't know of any engines for it. Okay. That's unfortunate. I can't even load this into the configurator because I don't know any engine combinations. I could probably go find one and scan it if I wanted to, though. Well, I guess we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. That's very unfortunate. Okay, so medium turrets. We'll put dual turbo lasers. It can mount 4 of them on the bottom. With shields, of course. And there's not a save. Thought one was just a refit of the other. Kind of. They're similar. But the Imperials don't use this one. The Arquitans? Something like that. Damn it, somebody gave me a pronunciation guide for that and I've forgotten already. And on the top, they can mount 2 long-range turbo lasers or more duals, or I think the long range are probably the most interesting thing that can go on there. So they mount a slightly heavier medium turret. Because you can't put the long ranges on the bottom. You can only put them on the top. And then for smalls, you have like quad lasers or something. 12 smalls. So you have 12 smalls, 4 mediums, and 4 slightly larger mediums.
Thank you.
I was going to try to do an Imperial light cruiser, which is another refit of the thing. Okay, there we go. The Imperial light cruiser is equipped similar, but I do know of engines for this. The Imperial light cruiser is also equipped with, let's see if it has actually exactly the same. 4 mediums, 2 slightly larger mediums, 6 smalls, 6 smalls. Okay, so this is probably in just a reskinned version. So we'll compare these two. Okay, the Imperial Light. Unfortunately, I can't actually add the one you're asking about, so I don't know how the hull and shield and stuff compares, but I'm guessing the 546 is just better. Imperial Light is actually faster than the 546. That's interesting. I wonder how the what I call it compares as far as that goes. Storage. The 546 has a hangar, whereas the others don't. But basically, let's go look at these guns up close again. Okay, we have the 546 has 2 large turrets on the top, where those 2 mediums are. There's actual larges that go there. So apparently the only gun I know of that can fit into that slot is the large dual turbo lasers. I don't know if there's actually any other choices for that, but for mediums, there's 2. Where are these? Okay. In front. Ooh, there's quad turbo lasers. Interesting. I'm not sure if they do. Okay, the quads do boost the damage up some. But anyway, there's 2 heavy-ish mounts down in front. Okay, interesting. Not sure what the difference is between these 2 other than one's quad and one's a dual. The quads seem to have the highest output, but I'm not sure if they sacrifice range or anything like that. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. There are 2 mediums on top, and then I think there are 4 mediums. Okay, there's 8 mediums on the bottom. There's 4 on this side, and there's 4 more on the other side. So instead of having, what was it, 6 mediums on the bottom and 2 on top, it has 8 mediums on the bottom and 2 mediums on top plus 2 larges on top. And then for smalls, it has 8 smalls along this side. Not sure what I had in there originally. Doesn't matter really. Or wait. Where are those? Okay, there's like one of them was here. Okay, apparently it's along this side there's 8 small turrets. On the opposite side there's 8 small turrets. And then somewhere else there's 2 small turrets. Trying to figure out where these are. Oh, on top. In the middle, on the spine. So there's 8 smalls on this side and 8 smalls on that side instead of 6 and 6.
Known criminal identified. Please assist in pursuit.
Awaiting orders.
And to buy a 546, well, unfortunately I can't do that right now, I don't think. I don't have the rep. Let me check, just to be sure. Yep. I need capital ship access to buy a 546. I could buy an Imperial Light Cruiser, though. But I can't buy a 546. It's 9.2 million for a high preset Imperial Light Cruiser. Obviously, I'd want to tweak this a bunch, but... Anyway. Yeah, by default, they want to give me those long-range turbo lasers. We could mount duals, which would actually increase our damage, but I suspect the long ranges would probably be better. Let's see, D10 long range turbo laser. Let's look that up in Encyclopedia. Effective range is 12K. Okay. And what about the D6 dual? Effective range is 9K. Okay. This heavy dual, I think, is what I have mounted on. That gives me 17K on the, what do I call it? Okay. Yeah, this is definitely the turbo laser that I have mounted on the Pretender. You don't get the long-range turret, just a dual. It is about 3K difference, I guess, in range. I wonder... Damn it, I should have did it that way. Okay, let's spec one of these out again. There are several different engine choices.
Smuggling vessel found nearby. Please
Oh, these are
assist in
shield
pursuit.
choices. I am a fool. There's only like cruiser engines, okay. All around Mark 3s. Dropping that down would actually save a about $1 million. A little under. Okay, we can't get this shield generator because it's too fancy for us, I guess. For the smalls, they want to give me RH3 quads. Yeah, the duels would give us more damage. But anyway, I don't want to buy any of these. I'd rather buy more 546s if I could, because they're much better armed. I just don't know how much these cost. But right now, this would be the biggest guns I can get. You know, that I can buy more of. These are fairly well armed, all things considered. Can I load out in the ship comparator let's see, Neutron class cruiser, select road out, high preset, confirm. Okay, the Neutron Star is actually better than the 546 apparently, as far as hull and stuff goes, although it's got a lot less gun output than a 546 and a little less than an Imperial Light. Speed, 546 is apparently pretty slow, or at least with the gear I know about. More docks, but really who cares? Never getting one of those. They're very ugly. Yeah. The main reason why I was checking out the Neutron Star
Maintenance vessel.
is because I was curious if the what the pirate ones were likely statted out as. Because I have to kill at least 3 of them, plus 3 Nebulon Patrol cruisers. Is this thing firmly embedded inside the... Yes, it is. We should probably just move on. I think my next main objective, I really want to take this system from this pirate fleet. So there's some Neutron Star cruisers, and there's some Nebulon B cruisers, and also a whole bunch of random fighters and bombers, and there's a Defender Corvette. Bunch of those. So I really need bigger guns, or more guns, I should say. Don't necessarily need bigger ones, I just need more. Because for 2 reasons. One, there's a good system to build a
Awaiting orders.
build a shipyard in. And 2, I want to find out what happens when I capture this station. It uses the same icon as the player HQ from vanilla. But I'm not sure if that has anything to do with anything at all. I know of at least 3 other stations with that icon. I just haven't captured any of them to find out what they do. Or if they even all do the same thing. Guess I'll see eventually. Anyway, here's the Pretender. Remove all orders from all of you, so I don't have to listen to constant spam. Because sometimes they'll get moved a little bit somehow, and then they'll decide they need to report that they are in position. Okay.
Microchip factory.
Let's go over here. Okay. Come at me, criminals.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
But anyway. What I probably should do to take out that
Docking
group
granted. Docking aborted.
is just buy a great big group of mixed TIE fighters and TIE bombers.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Need a good target yourself. Very few fighters. Spend about 40 million to get better stuff, though. Well, there is another station like that somewhere over on the other side of the map. Where was it even? Right over here, near Mon Cal. I don't know if there's one up this way. I haven't really explored enough to be 100% sure that I've found everything up here. I think I have, but I haven't really confirmed. And there's another one down farther from there. I don't know how many of those there are.
Thank you.
But I don't know if that's a necessarily good target for that size of fleet.
Thank you.
The one that's at the
Docking
Maw
granted. Docking aborted.
is protected by a Imperial Star Destroyer.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
But the one that's over by Mon Cal somewhere, I think, just has the same kind of pirate fleet as this one does.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Okay.
Requesting permission.
Docking granted.
Docking permission
Docking
granted.
aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Let's go over here to this station. They might not be far enough away that they have different spawn pools. But there's only one way to find out.
Maintenance vessel.
Okay, they definitely have different spawn pools. Yeah, where'd it go? Damn it. It docked.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Oh. Well. Okay, good. Almost got stuck there. I remember when I was still trying to learn how to use these sticks. Just trying to fly in a circle and keep somewhat coordinated flight was very difficult. The sector near Mon Cal is empty for you, and so you
Please
put a...
assist in pursuit.
I wonder if they somehow randomized that.
Maintenance vessel.
That'd be interesting. Let's see. Where's Mon Cal? Yeah.
Microchip factory.
It definitely wasn't empty for me, so... Maybe the positions are somehow slightly randomized. I wouldn't know if that would work or not. That, or maybe the AI can destroy them, but...
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Seems odd since I got an actual mission when I arrived there. Maybe it's also could be linked to Game Start somehow. I don't know if there's anything that is linked to Game Start like that, though.
Thanks for your help.
The quests might be somehow.
Thank you.
There's one right above the corporate sector headquarters.
Awaiting orders.
Let's see. Corporate sector would be these guys, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this place was empty for me and just has some pirates in it. Unless I missed a gate somewhere in here. Huh. I wonder if they figured out a way to randomize their position every game or something. That'd be very cool if they did.
Docking granted.
'Cause if they figured out a way to randomize that.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Oh, the pirates. Yeah, there's a pirate base there.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
And the faster you go, the less you can stay on course. I think technically there would eventually be a speed where you literally cannot maintain the circle, because even if you could maintain the turn rate, you would start to slew too much. And you would end up nose in, smack whatever it is.
Docking granted.
I don't know, maybe there would be a perfect angle you could hold. Problem is you gotta balance. You can't just have the nose pointed right. You need to also worry about keeping the right
Docking aborted.
speed. Maintaining enough speed to slide through maneuver, which I just failed at right there. But anyway, we should go on to another system. Not getting anything done right now. Not that what we're doing is that productive. We are technically making earning rep, but it's a bit slow. Own the universe yet? Not yet, survey. Not yet. Did you see my new ship, though? I went and bought myself a TIE Phantom. It is very cool. It's much more maneuverable than the Defender. Now I need another 20 for a fleet. I probably wouldn't buy TIE Phantoms for a fleet. But hopefully soon I will be able to afford
Smart chip factory.
to buy myself some TIE Defenders for a fleet. That'd be nice.
Requesting permission to dock.
More realistically, I probably should just start buying large numbers of basic TIEs. No, this mod's actually succeeded, sort of, in making it so that carriers are a good idea. Because the problem I always had in vanilla with carriers is that really fighters were fast enough you could just fly the fighters to wherever you needed to go, and carriers didn't actually carry enough stuff to make it worthwhile. But in this mod, a lot of the fighters, the ones without hyperdrives, are slow enough in travel drive that it's much faster to load them on board a carrier and fly them to where they're going. OBS wants to make your stream 720. To be perfectly honest,
Maintenance vessel.
I'm not completely sure how to change that. I think it is something to do with changing the overall resolution of the scene, but I've never had to do that. It defaulted to 1080 and that was fine by me. I never really poked into around how to do that.
High-tech factory.
Alright. Bonk. Can't even blame that one on autopilot. Am I stuck inside this damn thing? Yes, I am. Oh,
Thanks for your
okay,
help.
no, I'm not.
Thank you.
That wasn't autopilot, that was just bad pilot. Okay. And kill the drive.
Docking granted. Docking
Okay.
aborted.
You made the there's an enemy nearby ding.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Except the select nearest enemy targeting hotkeys bring anything up. Must have docked immediately when we arrived.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
It might have decided that it's gonna. Well. Yeah, I don't know. I said all my stuff a wrong time ago, so I remember if there was a procedure to try to guess your settings to start with or anything like that. And even if it had, it wouldn't have made a difference for me because I've got a monster PC.
Smuggling vessel found nearby. Please assist in pursuit.
Well, it'd be nice if that smuggling vessel actually existed.
Maintenance vessel.
There we go. Where's that? Right up there, that's where it's at. Anyway. Oh, let's see. Let's go for
Ship
this.
technology factory.
Yeah, for me, everything was just 1080 by default, and that was fine. Until I tried to stream Scum,
Short range transporter.
and then it ran like total crap.
Thanks for
The
your
game was
help.
fine, stream was not.
Thank you.
Get back here. There we go. But then I just switched it over to software rendering, and that was the end of my problems for, as far as I can tell, forever.
Docking aborted.
Although, switching to software rendering is probably not going to be a solution for most people. I have a 3950X, so I can throw 16 cores at any problems I may have. So rendering video on the CPU is not really a problem.
Thanks for your help.
You can do it with having plenty of cores left over for
Thanks for your help.
the game to use, and whatever
Awaiting
else
orders.
I may feel like doing. Now, my graphics card was beefy as what I had originally wanted to use. I probably could just leave it run on, what do I call it? Or I could just left it alone and used NVENC.
Short range transporter.
But alas, 3090s were not in stock. And then I
Docking
suddenly didn't have enough money to buy them anyway. Speaking of enough money,
Docking aborted.
just before stream started today,
Docking granted. Docking
I made
aborted.
myself a very bad,
Docking granted.
very poor
Docking
financial
aborted.
decision. Not a 4090? No, well, I don't have a 40 series card, unfortunately. I wish I had the money for that.
Plasma conductor factory.
Although if I continue my current habits, I'm not going to have money for anything. Because just before I started stream, I dropped like 150 bucks on a paperweight.
Thanks for your help.
A very cool paperweight, mind you.
Thanks for your help.
But it was just a paperweight. Namely, I got a... I bought myself a slide for an H9, I think it was called. H9? thing. Anyway, there's a company called KE Arms.
Docking aborted.
They made the lower receiver that I used for my AR-15, as well as a few other cool things that I have.
Awaiting orders.
But anyway, they're being sued by the company that originally designed, or I shouldn't, let's guess, long story. Once upon a time, there was a company named Cavalry Arms, and they made the first decent monolithic polymer AR-15 lower receiver.
Ship Technology Factory.
Pretty cool deal.
Thank you.
Thanks for your help.
Basically one of the only, and certainly the first, polymer lowers that didn't tend to break and crack over time. Because the AR-15 design isn't really suitable for a polymer lower. The little bit on the back
Maintenance vessel.
that connects to the buffer tube.
Stop your attacking me. You will now suffer the consequences.
Oops.
This is Sector Security. Comms channel open.
You get two ships
Reporting
instead of one.
attack against the station.
Affirmative.
Criminal record has been updated.
You better not reduce my... Okay. We did lose a little bit of reputation, but not enough to go down in rank.
Durasteel Foundry.
Anyway, the little skinny bit in the back that connects to the buffer tube is not strong enough to be made out of polymer, just the way it's made out of aluminum,
Short range.
and expect it to
transporter.
work. Which is why the only good polymer lowers are monolithic, aka the stock is part of the lower. Because that way they can make it thicker there.
Thank you.
But anyway, so Cavalry Arms made these for
Thank you.
some years,
Aborted.
and then they sold the molds and
Docking
some other
granted.
stuff
Docking aborted.
to a guy named Russell Fagan.
Ship Technology Factory. Ship
And Russell
Technology
Fagan,
Factory.
who I think worked for Cavalry Arms at the time, or used to, or something like that. I don't remember the exact details. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, he bought the molds and this stuff and wasn't able to make them himself like he wanted to. He was trying to get a company together to make them, and he wasn't able to do it. So he sold them to a company called GWAX Armory.
Thanks for your help.
And GWAX Armory
Maintenance vessel.
then made
Thank you.
more polymer lower receivers using those molds. I think they might have made their own molds too after that. Would you hold still, damn it? But anyway, they made them till their molds went bad, and then they stopped making them and didn't make any more. Because molds don't last forever. Well, somewhere in and around then, InRange TV, which is a YouTube channel, started doing a video series on what they called the What Would Stoner Do rifle, which was basically
High-tech factory.
a very lightweight. Basically, what would you do if you made the Colt SP1 but with modern technology? And they used the GWAX Mark II lower because that was
Thanks
the
for
only
your
good
help.
polymer lower that was available at the time. Well,
Thank you.
after a while, the GWAX polymer lower was no longer available for sale because they ran through all their stock and they weren't making anymore. So along comes KE Arms. And KE Arms, who now had a certain Russell Fagan employed there, decided that, hey, we can, re-architect this stuff and make molds and start making polymer lowers using the basic designs that were used by Cav Arms so long ago.
Short range transporter.
Obviously not identical, but because they didn't have the original molds or any of that stuff. They sold all that after all.
Docking
But they did
aborted.
have the know-how to do it themselves, so they went ahead and made up a set of molds and started making more lowers, and InRange did another set of videos and updated the WWSD design some, and they actually started selling complete rifles, which, by the way, that's what mine is. I have a complete WWSD 2020 rifle. But anyway. Well, some years after all this went down, well, like a year and a half now, probably. Probably about a year after they started doing that, it's when the lawsuit would have kicked off. GWAX sued them over this, alleging all kinds of trade secrets and all kinds of stuff related to the Mark II lower. Well, there was only one problem with this, but it's a pretty big problem. Namely, Cav Arms did not make anything they were doing a secret. Nor did GWAX at the time they were making them. There's plenty of people who contacted one or either or both companies and asked about
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
all kinds of detailed information about how exactly the receiver went together, and were sent pictures of the internals of the receiver, pictures of the mold, all kinds of stuff like that. So all the stuff they're trying to claim as trade secrets are in no way trade secrets. How much did my rifle cost? The rifle itself is like $1,700, $1,800, something like that. And then obviously I got a sight for it and all that, which is more. All told, I think it's like, can't remember if I spent like $2,100 or $2,200 total on the whole platform.
Vessel.
It definitely is not as blinged out as it could be, that's for sure. But it is fairly well set up for what it is. Where is this idiot? There he is. Hold still. There we go. Anyway. So, KE Arms has been fighting a lawsuit with GWAX for a few years now. But here's the funny part. GWAX is basically bankrupt. They're not really doing anything anymore. The reason the lawsuit is...
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
The reason the lawsuit is going on is because one of the main financiers behind GWAX is, and this is kind of funny, Anti-Era 15. So this guy bought into the company and is financing their lawsuit
Docking granted.
to try to make it so nobody else can make polymer lowers. I'm not sure what his plan is. But he's publicly stated that he is against AR-15s in the hands of the public. So, the lawsuit's frivolous and they're probably going to lose. Let's put it that way. But, even if the lawsuit is frivolous, it does cost money. So, they're doing a special fundraiser where you can get a slide from an H9, which is a failed 9mm pistol that KE Arms was involved in making the slides for years ago, for like $150. Signed by Ian McCollum from Forgotten Weapons. So I wasn't able to resist. I bought it. The H9 was a tale of assholes running the company and running into the ground, declare bankruptcy, screw a bunch of their customers. You know, your standard arms company implodes type story. And KE Arms was left holding the bag on a whole bunch of slides they couldn't use for anything, because obviously nobody's making H9s anymore.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
But I guess I could get one signed by Gun Jesus, so I did. Why so much? You got yours for $600, spent another $450 on sites. The reason why it's so much, and I really wish I had it here because I'd drag it out and show it off, but it's because it has every little trinket you can think of stuck on it. That would be, you know, basically it has all the fancy internal parts that are basically, like, the barrel's nothing special. It's just a Faxon pencil barrel. Just a nice barrel. The receiver's nothing special. You know, the lower. It's just a monolithic polymer lower. Relatively cheap. Nothing too expensive about it. Nothing too expensive with the gas system. It's just kind of everything's good. What makes it expensive is things like it's got a JC silent capture spring for the buffer. Those are not cheap. It has a PDQ lever. And that's like $50 for a little tiny piece of metal that goes across so that you can have ambidextrous slide release, or not slide release, ambidextrous bolt release. It has an SLT1 cassette trigger in it. And that's not cheap. It has a carbon fiber free float tube. That's like $350 right there. It has some kind of fancy
Docking permission granted.
charging lever, charging handle that has, the way it's set up, you can unlock it just by grabbing either side instead of having a separate latch. The actual wings on the charging handle are the latches, and you pull one back, the other pulls back with it. So you can just charge it no matter how you grab that handle and pull back, it's unlocking. So you don't have to try to grab a specific lock on the charging handle. Really super light aluminum charging handle too, which is kind of crazy. Just all kinds of little performance parts just throughout the whole thing. And for that, you have to pay a lot of money. Now, I got it set up that way from the factory. I didn't go ahead and assemble it from a whole bunch of parts I found, but I definitely spent too much money on it. It's really cool, and I really like it. I'm glad I bought it, but I could probably do without a lot of those performance parts. But it's cool, and it's super light. It's like just feathery almost. Well, it's feathery as a gun can ever get anyway. No, I don't do any long-range shooting. It's not really for long-range shooting either, is the funny part. It's just the lightest and the best, sort of,
Maintenance
parts you can
schedule.
get. Without going completely overboard into go fast competition parts or anything like that. And then I just went ahead and got a pretty reasonable reflex foresight for it. Not like a super fancy one or anything, just kind of a middle of the road. Don't remember what model it was. I mean, it's got a decent sight on it. I didn't get a cheapie, but neither did I get the most expensive thing ever. The rifle probably deserves something a little bit better than what I put on it, to be honest, but not too much better.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Let's see. Let's go to this place
Smart
next, I
chip
guess.
factory.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah. Now, if you just want an AR-15 that's decent, with like a mil-spec trigger, and which there's nothing wrong with, they're pretty reasonable, and a
Transporter.
just standard handguard, basic lower, basic upper, you can put that together pretty cheap. I would strongly suggest avoiding anything sold by Palmetto State Armory, but even without getting from bottom of the barrel crap companies like them, you can still put something together quite cheaply, especially if you buy it on sale.
High-tech factory.
And you'll end up with something that's almost as good. But honestly, if somebody was going to buy an AR, I would always suggest buying the parts and assembling it. It's not hard to do. As long as you buy like a complete upper, a lower, maybe a lower parts kit, or maybe just a complete lower. PSA is only good for ammo deals and trinkets. Yeah. They make...
Docking granted.
Their stuff is so variable.
Docking aborted.
Sometimes it works. And sometimes it doesn't. And then you're left dealing with their craptastic customer service. They leave quality assurance to their customers, let's put it that way. Push your SOCOM 16, 308 out to 400 yards, just the red dot. Yeah, I've never really done any long range stuff. Well, 400 isn't really long range, I guess. More medium range. Even for a, for an AR, 400's getting a little up there.
Short range transporter.
It's not anywhere close to the edge of its effective range, but... Okay.
Ship technology factory.
It's kind of cool to watch what somebody like
Aborted.
the guys at Nine Hold Reviews or something can do with a just your average rifle. Not accurized or anything, just kind of grab a mil-spec rifle and take it right on out there. To the point where it gets hard to knock the targets over because the bullet running out of steam.
Thank you.
And just the rifle not being accurate enough to hit it.
Maintenance vessel.
Thank you.
Could you hold still for a second? There we go. I'm wanting Waypoint 2020 and 6.5 Creedmoor. I just want one of everything. I don't have the money for one of everything, but I still want one of everything. Although honestly, I'm more of a pistol person than I am into rifles. I have that really nice AR, and I'm pretty happy with that. I want to get a 22 conversion kit for it. I'm kind of torn on whether I want to just get an upper from like somebody like Bear Creek, who has some pretty good 22 uppers, or if I just want to get a CMMG conversion.
Thanks for your help.
Because CMMG makes some pretty solid
Thanks for your help.
22 conversions, and even the people who do make dedicated 22 uppers, they use the CMMG magazines. But, oh well. I would certainly shoot it a lot more if I had a 22 upper for it. Although any 22 upper I put on it would be not as cool as the upper it has on it now. It wouldn't have that awesome free float tube or anything like that. Oh well. That's one reason I'd be leaning more toward a CMMG conversion kit, honestly. Plus the conversion kit's a little cheaper.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Anyway, I should probably stop messing around and actually go on to the next station.
Silicon refinery.
How long's my AR? I think that's a 16-inch barrel. I don't think it's longer than that. I'd like to get it shortened up a little bit. You know, put a slightly shorter barrel on it, so that I could someday,
Aborted.
when I have the money to do so, put a suppressor on it without making it too much longer than it is. But
Aborted.
I also don't want to do that, because if I do, then I would have to get it Form 1'd, and I'd have to mommy may I anytime I wanted to take it to
Docking
Michigan
right.
with me,
Docking
and
aborted.
yeah, no fun.
Docking grant. Docking aborted.
Yeah, technically, it probably would be considered a little longer than, well, it's 16-inch without the muzzle adapter, or without the muzzle device, I mean.
Docking aborted.
So the muzzle device is not pinned and welded or anything like that.
Short range transporter.
So if I had a pinned and welded muzzle device, I could probably go with a shorter barrel than what I have. I don't want to do that, though.
Durasteel Foundry.
Want a suppressor? The paperwork and fees are a pain. Yeah, I just don't have the money for a suppressor. I'd put up with the paperwork and fees. I just don't have the money for it. Someday. Why that gun over a different one? Because the aftermarket for them is amazing. For that matter, the before market for them is amazing.
Thank you.
You can get just about any configuration you can imagine and just about any caliber you can imagine.
Thanks for your
As
help.
long as it'll fit through a 5.56 mag well anyway. Straight from dozens and dozens of manufacturers. And then once you have one,
Docking granted.
that's the reason to get them. The reason why they're targeted, like survey says, because it looks scary. And because it's a famous name that everybody knows. You can't target it if you don't know the name.
Docking granted.
Alright, let's see. There was another... Let's go to that one.
Docking aborted.
Yeah. Yeah, they are a bad target
Range transporter.
for anti-gun groups because if anything's protected, it is. Because of the whole common use thing. So the more they try to bash on AR-15s, I guess the better. Because they're in such common use that there's no way they're going to be able to get them outlawed.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
And so might as well waste their efforts. I don't mind.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
I mean, if you want to waste your efforts, I'm good with that.
Thank you.
Keep their eyes off the things I actually care about.
Thank you.
At this point, I think AR-15 is still a trademark of Colt. I think Colt holds the trademark for that nowadays. Which is why you notice nobody else calls their AR-15s actually straight up AR-15s. They always call them something else 15 or something like that. Now, Armalite's out of business long ago. So I think Armalite was sold all their stuff to Colt. So I think Colt's the current trademark holder for AR-15. Yeah, Armalite's been gone for a while now.
Maintenance vessel. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Oh, well.
Plasma conductor factory.
But the basic design of the rifle is, at this point, no longer protected in any way, so everybody and their brother makes them. Or makes parts for them. Or both.
Maintenance vessel.
Thank you.
You still need to get your hands on one of those 100-round drum mags? Planning to turn money into noise at express speed, huh? I'm just jealous. I wish I had one.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I wouldn't be able to afford to feed it, though.
Docking grant. Docking aborted.
Not right now, anyway. I think I still have 4 loaded magazines and one unopened 20-round box of 5.56. Or 223 actually in this case. Same song, different verse. Needless to say, I am not going to be shooting my AR-15 very much for a little while. Not until I can buy more ammo.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, I haven't shot anything except my 22s for a while, simply because I don't have the ammo for it.
High-tech factory.
One of these days, after I do some shooting with the Explorer 2 or something, I should bring that in and clean it on stream. That's a pretty cool little pistol. Or large pistol, I should say. It's also wasn't originally made by Armalite as the AR-7.
Docking granted.
I think honestly, I'm probably just gonna end up buying a CMMG conversion bolt,
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
because you can fire 22 down the same barrel as 5.56. You just need a chamber adapter.
Identifying criminal.
Short range transporter.
After all, 223 is pretty darn close to 22. Not sure if it'd make the barrel a little dirtier or not, but that's...
Permission granted.
You can clean them.
Docking aborted.
I'd really like a dedicated 22 upper, though. I just wouldn't be able to get a dedicated 22 upper as nice as the one I have for a while. Caltech PMR 30? I don't think I've seen that one. Although, being Caltech, I kind of want one of everything Caltech has ever made. Because someday I would like to do a gun collection based around the theme of weird, bad, and just plain
Thanks
crazy.
For your help.
And
Thanks for your help.
I think Caltech pretty much deserves to have a slot for everything they've ever designed. They can go right next to Cobra. It's a 22 Magnum 30 round pistol. Okay. That sounds silly. Sounds like something Caltech would do. I kind of like all the memes about how the speculating about the levels of cocaine consumption in the Caltech designer offices. Yeah. Let's take a look at this thing. I'm not gonna bring it up on stream. That thing looks weird. Okay, that looks weird. But why though? That's pretty much Caltech's theme song. But why though? Chanted over and over again. Yeah, I've heard about some of those AR-12 gauges. I don't know. I'm not really into shotguns. I have a Savage 750 laying around that I need to finish cleaning up and fixing. But other than that, I don't really feel the need to own a shotgun. It looks funny, but it's super lightweight and loud AF. Throws fire about 6 inches out of the barrel. Did you ever see one of those stupid 7.62x39 or 5.56 single shot pistols that oh, what is the name of that company?
Plasma conductor factory.
There's a company that makes them. I don't know what they're called. They got just like a stubby barrel the bullet almost sticks out of.
Docking aborted.
Completely pointless, but kinda cool. I seen a thing on Reddit where somebody took one
Maintenance vessel.
Did a bunch of calculating and figured out the theoretical loudest you could possibly make a 5.56 weapon. What the perfect barrel length was and exactly what kind of brake to put on it to make sure it was as loud as you could possibly get it. I should look that up and post it in Discord after stream. It was pretty funny. Gotta take it to his indoor range. Yeah. Yeah, someday.
Thank you.
Someday when I have money. Ha ha ha. Never.
Thanks
I
for your
will
help.
build a gun collection around silly guns. And as I said, one of everything Caltech ever made, one of everything Cobra ever made. Probably one of everything High Point ever made. Although High Point's not really bad or crazy, so I guess they wouldn't really fit. I mean, they're kind of bad, but not really sure how to define High Point. Different, maybe. Yeah, there's a range just a little bit north of here that has a full auto AR they have for rent. I need to rent it one of these days, but like 45 bucks an hour plus ammo. And you know, if I'm gonna spend 45 bucks an hour to rent a AR-15, I am going to be putting a lot of ammo through it. I can't afford that right now. I think you need to buy the ammo from them too, because they don't want anybody running just random ammo through their very expensive and very hard to fix. I don't know if it's transferable or if they have an SOT. I'm not sure. And gun store ammo is never cheap. It's pretty much always cheaper to buy online. Anyway. The thing is, if I really had enough money to just go blow a whole afternoon like that, which I would definitely want to do if I was going to do it. You know, it's not actually that expensive to get an SOT. It's like $1 a round for 5.56. Ah, it's less than that. Let me check. Let's see. AmmoBuy.com. Some people use AmmoSeek. I kind of prefer AmmoBuy, but either one works. Let's see. Rifle ammo. 223 or 5.56. Sort by price per round. 223 Remington, bulk, remanufactured, American-made brand, 32 cents a round. That is remanufactured, American-made brand. For non-remanufactured and non-steel case, 37 cents a round. Okay. That one has been reported for something, though. Let's go down a little bit. 400 rounds, 223 Remington Factory Striker M193 ball, 38 cents. So yeah, I'd say probably around 40 cents or so a round right now.
Plasma conductor factory.
That's not too bad. It's gonna be more than that at a gun store, because that's buying like 400 or 500 rounds at a time, at least. Yeah, I never buy anything at gun stores except transfers. Well, that's not true. I did buy a pistol once. Not that long ago, even. As long as the price is competitive on a new pistol or something, then I might buy it there instead of online. But ammo? No way. Just get that shipped. Alright, let's pick another place to go to.
High-tech
I am
factory.
spending too much time talking and not enough actually doing what I'm here to do. Although we did get to plus 17 so far, so that's something, I guess. 3 more points to go before we just have money being the only thing stopping us from owning bigger ships. Talking is the point of streaming, ain't it? Well, technically you're probably supposed to be talking about the game you're playing, but...
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I think that's how it's supposed to work anyway.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Because right now this stream is just chatting with extra steps. Alrighty. It's 10:30. I'm gonna go a little late. I don't have anywhere I need to be. I spent most of the day today messing about with a leaky shower. Trying to get that
Docking
fixed.
aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted. Short range transporter.
So that was fun. Well, okay. I shouldn't say it wasn't fun because it was kind of. I didn't have to work on my current project, which that's a win, I guess. Needless to say, the current thing we're working on at work is extremely boring. So cutting out a bunch of rotted wood from behind a tub and replacing it was a nice change of pace. You just got an X4 down with the
Thank you.
Imperial scum.
Thanks for your help.
Oh. What have the wondrous Imperials ever done to you? Let's see, tomorrow's Thursday, isn't it?
Docking granted.
I think so. So that means borrow trauma tomorrow. Ooh. I'm kind of looking forward to that, actually. They killed many of your Z95s? Well, what were your Z95s doing attacking the Imperials?
Docking aborted. Docking granted.
Ah, damn it.
Docking aborted.
We banged into that.
Ship technology.
Just started to get your
factory.
economy going in your X4 game. Not sure you want to do a modded run just yet. I would definitely suggest not doing modded runs until you've done a couple solid vanilla runs. Honestly, this modded run is probably premature. Probably should have done another vanilla run or two. I'd say I'm not having fun with it, because I am. But there was still definitely more stuff to do in vanilla that I haven't done yet. Although, with the new DLC coming out soon, maybe it wasn't quite so badly timed as I might have thought. Yep, smack indeed. So it happens when you're talking instead of watching where you're going. Impact braking? Something like that anyway.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Well, at least while I have been frittering away my time, we have been making more money. Actually, I kind of want to see how things are going aboard the Oops. We got to be getting close to the point where it's full on cash. Actually, we kind of aren't. That's surprising. Why are we out of superfluid coolant and graphene? Oh, we're full on superfluid coolant and graphene. Okay, I see. We're not selling module prefabs. Okay, money has slowed a lot. Maybe we should buy a second freighter and start... Maybe I should buy a second large freighter and build like a transshipment station somewhere in Imperial space and start shipping stuff up to sell. Have to think about that one. Because I think we've saturated the station parts market here. So maybe the solution is to start saturating the station parts market up here. Or over here. I had to think about this. How is the Bespin solar plant going? It is still making me money at a pretty reasonable clip. Okay.
Thanks for your help.
We're just not making as much as we once were from the Oops. That's probably fine, though. We're going to need those parts to build our own station soon. Whenever I get around to building more of them anyway. Okay. They've actually filled out their drones, just exactly the way I ordered. Construction is completed, which is as expected. And it has been making money at a reasonable rate. Okay, cool. Cool. Over the last hour, it made about 6 million. Okay.
Thank you.
Just helped a Venator kill a CIS station. Are stations as squishy in this as they are in vanilla? I honestly haven't tried shooting one to find out.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
It's a vanilla. The Xenon stations are like super tanky and just giant pools of hit points. And the civilized stations are like ultra squish. Blow up if you look at them funny kind of things. Which is a little silly, but oh well. Nobody asked me. I guess they probably need to do that to stop their way from steamrolling the Xenon, I don't know. Oh. Let's go over
High-tech
there-ish.
factory.
Yeah, anyway. I'd like to get to at least plus 18 yet tonight. I've been making a reasonable amount of reputation in between all the talking. But I kind of want to just sit around and build up money and reputation for a while.
Docking granted.
And then, as soon as I can, try buying some...
Maintenance vessel.
Oh, I'm not entirely sure what. Part of me wants to buy 546 cruisers. And part of me wants to try to go for something bigger. Like save up the money and buy a proper Star Destroyer. Get an Imperial class or something.
Docking aborted.
And then go crush pirates. And build a defense station, so claim that place as our own. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough money to do that. Even if I do sit around and save up. I haven't played vanilla, but they were going 60-40 in favor of the Venator. It was fighting when you got there. That's right. You jumped straight into the mod, never played
Thank
vanilla.
you.
How strange.
Thanks for your help.
You really should try vanilla out sometime, by the way. It is quite good. It isn't Star Wars, but...
Smart Chip Factory.
Alright, let's go over here. Shoot some more stuff. And then... I don't know. You did the same with X3 too?
Short range transporter.
That wasn't where those... There we go. Got some loot. Like you start over when the Boron DLC releases? Yeah. I kind of want to keep this run going until that happens. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, though, is the problem.
Microchip Factory.
If it happens soon, this run's just going to die wherever we are at. We're going to go immediately play Boron DLC. If it happens a while off from now, maybe this run will be finished by then, and I might either take a short break from X4, or I might start a new run. I haven't really decided. I don't think there's any dates available for when the DLC is coming out, which is kind of the part of the problem.
Docking grid.
I don't think they've announced a date yet. Maybe that would be a good time to get in some of those RTS games and stuff that I want to play at some point. If this run finishes before the Boron DLC is available. Hopefully they don't mean fall of 2023, because I might have to do a whole another X4 run then.
Maintenance
Not that a
vessel.
whole another X4 run is necessarily a bad thing. It's just that most of the stuff I had planned for another run would be better if I had, you know, a cool new DLC with it. Hopefully they announce a more concrete date at some point before this run ends, and I can make a better informed decision. But we'll see. $2023 is an awful large amount of time. And they're talking fall or winter 2023.
Docking granted.
Well, we'll definitely have to do something else in between. Something else X4 to be clear.
Docking aborted.
Thanks for your help.
Because this run isn't going to last that long, I doubt.
Thank you.
Once we get our own shipyards up and running, are capable of cranking out our own fully constructed and outfitted Star Destroyers and legions of TIE fighters, this run is going to end very quickly. Am I going to play Starfield? Probably. I had actually completely forgotten that that was a thing. Almost certainly.
Smuggling vessel found nearby.
Maintenance
Unless the reviews are all
factory.
like, this totally sucks and everybody should hate it. And even then I might try it out. I'm kind of a fan of Bethesda RPGs. A lot of people are like, oh, they're so buggy, and I haven't really had much trouble with them. And I really like the way they have a do whatever you want, whenever you want kind of gameplay. So hopefully that carries through in the Starfield. And hopefully it has good ship combat and ship flying, although I don't know if Bethesda can pull that one off. Particularly not if they try to use any parts of their existing engine, because The existing engine, it's blamed for a lot of stuff that's not really the engine's fault. But it is kind of rigid and it doesn't do vehicles really. But we'll see. I shall reserve judgment until I see it myself. Even if the ship flight is kind of slightly wonky and just merely okay, I'll still play it. Yeah, Fallout 4 was... I can't say Fallout 4 was the worst Fallout because Brotherhood of Steel for the consoles exists. To be clear, not Fallout Tactics, Brotherhood of Steel. Just Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, which is completely different. It was a third-person shooter piece of crap that wasn't great. Fallout 4 is probably the worst Fallout other than that, though. Which I guess says a lot about how good Fallout was, because Fallout 4 wasn't that bad. I didn't like the main story at all, though. Bethesda RPGs tend to have meh main stories, but Fallout 4's was kind of above and beyond in that category.
Docking aborted.
It had some good side stories, though.
Docking
And the gameplay was fun.
Docking aborted.
One of these days, I need to return to my... Or actually, I probably should just do a new one. My Legendary Enemies run. I probably shouldn't really return to my current one because that one kind of was... I don't know. I had good weapons that could kill anything I ran into, and it was... I wasn't really playing to play through the story anyway. Maybe I should start over with nothing and go through all the fun of trying to find a weapon and scrambling against legendaries with crap guns and trying to get enough ammo and all that fun stuff until I have OP gear again, and then...
Docking
Yeah.
granted. Docking aborted.
That was kind of fun to play that mod. Maybe I'll have to use it as a filler game or something. Next time I'm trying to figure out what to do when I don't have much time or when I just want to do something different. Poke around in there a little bit more. Fallout Tactics was definitely my favorite Fallout, though. Second would have been Fallout 3. I think Fallout 3 would be my second favorite Fallout. Because... not necessarily because it's the best, but because I spent
Maintenance vessel.
so much time playing that game when I was younger.
Docking granted.
I don't think I could go back to it and actually have fun, because I've seen everything there is to see at least 2 or 3 times, and I would be instantly bored. But I played through that entire game, through the main quest, through all the DLCs, through most of the storyline, repeatedly. I never liked Fallout New Vegas, on the other hand. A lot of people are like, ooh, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas is way better. And it's like, nope, you people are all wrong.
Docking aborted.
New Vegas is crap. Fallout 3 is amazing. Yeah, New Vegas is probably... of the Fallouts I've played, New Vegas is probably my second or third least favorite.
Thanks for your help.
Fallout 1 and 2 are probably somewhere near the bottom as well.
Thank you.
Honestly, because I don't really like that kind of RPG necessarily. But they were fun to play. And they were well made, and they were well written, and all that stuff.
Docking granted.
So they're not bad games, they're just not my favorite Fallouts.
Docking aborted.
You'd like to go back into it. You played so much, so you know almost everything from where they are and where the enemies spawn. That's why, like Fallout London Project. Yeah, you know, I should probably be paying more attention to the Fallout 4 total conversions, because if they do even slightly good job of making a new world with new stories, that would be a solid reason to go back into Fallout 4. Because it'd be all fresh stuff, you know? Fallout 1 and 2 were awesome in their time, didn't age well, though. Yeah. Yeah. They're still pretty playable. The UI is not terrible or anything like that. But they didn't really age that well. I definitely wouldn't mind playing them on stream at some point, just that there's a long list of other things that needs to happen first. Also, I should probably stop just flying up and down this thing and go do something else, like fly over here instead.
High-tech factory.
Anyway, so many games, so little time. Oh, also I probably should find time to sometime play through whatever it's called, the Shuri Eye total conversion for Skyrim.
Docking granted.
Enderal? I think Enderal is what it's called.
Docking aborted.
Because there's a semi-official port to Special Edition for that. I played some of it. I don't know. It just didn't grab me the same way Nehrim did, I guess.
Smuggling vessels found nearby.
Short-range transporter.
Sure, I made another mod for Fallout 3 that I never really liked as well. It wasn't a total conversion, though.
Docking aborted.
Another playthrough of Enderal might not be... Not Enderal, Nehrim. Might not be the worst thing ever. Nehrim was a bit janky in spots, though. But that's about the most total conversion mods I've ever done in a Bethesda game.
Thanks for your help.
Although I did try out Tale of Two Wastelands once upon a time. That was janky as heck. It kind of worked pretty well, though. Although I think it's come a long way since when I last looked at it, so... Tale of Two Wastelands is a mod for Fallout New Vegas that imports Fallout 3 into New Vegas. So you can play both Fallout 3 and New Vegas with the same character.
Permission to dock. Docking permission.
You can start in New Vegas, or you can much cooler start in Fallout 3, play through Fallout 3, and then go to New Vegas and play through New Vegas. Which is kind of cool. I mean, who knew the courier traveled that far? Obviously, it wouldn't make much sense to start in New Vegas and go to Fallout 3, but you can. I think you can if you want. I don't remember. I'm not sure how they handle.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I don't think they give you more levels or anything. I don't remember. I don't know if they just reduce XP across the board to try to keep your leveling under control, or do they just, yeah, I haven't really looked at it too much since I tried it out long ago. It was kind of a pain in the butt to install, I do remember that. Well, Fallout London does look very cool. Oh well. We're still stuck at plus 17. I really want to get to
Ship
plus 18.
Technology Factory.
I suppose that just means I need to be more diligent about flying to the next station as soon as we nail one criminal. There we
Short
go.
range transporter.
Pew pew.
Defense
Let's go visit the defense platform. We haven't visited any of them yet tonight, and they're kind of cool designed. Okay.
Docking granted. Docking
No, I don't
aborted.
want to dock. There we go.
Thanks for your help.
Docking
Thanks for your help.
Eventually somebody will spawn around here. Or we can just go on to the next station, I guess, without waiting. That'd probably be the better idea,
docking
honestly.
aborted.
Let's go to that station. I'm not sure what it is, but let's go there. Well, rip. Clearly we should have waited a second or two longer. Spawn criminal traffic, please.
Maintenance vessel.
Wow. Who knew? The AI follows commands. Oops. Pew pew. Let's go
Silicon
to there, I guess.
refinery.
Yeah, a much more efficient way to do this would be to get some miners going in Imperial space,
Maintenance vessel.
and then just wait.
Docking granted.
That's sad. Occasionally we do get a little bit of loot.
Durasteel foundry.
Suppose that's worth it. But anyway, I really do want to play through Fallout
Docking
Tactics.
aborted.
Thank you.
I might have to make that the next weekend game after Terraria is done. The problem is I keep saying various games that I might need to make the next weekend game after Terraria is done, and then I never quite can decide which one of them is actually going to be it. There's not that many weekends left in Terraria before we're done, I think.
Docking granted.
Thanks for your help.
Docking aborted.
We're definitely farther along in that game than I've ever been before. So I think, let's see. I killed Fisheron,
Docking granted. Docking
who we've never
aborted.
killed before or even fought before. And I killed the Empress of Light, who I also, well, wasn't even in the game the last time I seriously played any amount of Terraria. So at this point, we just need to farm them some more for their cool drops,
Short range transporter.
and then start the end game, I guess. Because the Lunatic Cultist would be next. Ever picked up Terraria? I highly recommend it. And I say this as being somebody who doesn't like boss fight style games.
Ship Technology Factory.
Terraria
Ship Technology
is,
Factory.
on the surface, not the kind of game that I would be interested in, and yet
Short-range
I really like it.
transporter.
Grab Starbound instead. I think I might
Durasteel
own
Foundry.
Starbound,
Ship
but I have never really
Technology
played it that
Factory.
much. I think I own it, but I don't know where I would have got it if I did. Or why I would have got it, I should say. Yeah, I've definitely played a little bit of Starbound. I've just never played very much of it. For some reason it never grabbed me the same way
Plasma
Terraria did.
Conductor Factory.
Thank you.
But anyway. Still at plus 17. Come on, give me more rep. Stop being stingy. This is a terrible way to gain rep at this point, but I don't have anything better to do, so. Well,
Thank you.
that's not entirely true.
Short-range transporter.
I could probably go build a station and try to make more money. There we go.
High-tech factory.
Oh,
Docking.
actually,
granted.
you know what? Anno 1800 is probably going to take the
Docking
next
aborted.
weekend game position after Terraria is done. Because I really want to play more of that. So Tactics might have to wait until after Anno 1800's done.
Docking granted. Docking aborted. Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I think New Vegas and 3 are both very good. The main thing I didn't like about New Vegas,
Thanks for your
well,
help.
I didn't really like any of the DLC for New Vegas. Whereas I liked pretty much all of Fallout 3's DLC. The pit was kind of mediocre in my opinion, though. But I liked Mothership Zeta. I liked Operation Anchorage. I liked... Well, I really liked Broken Steel. But in New Vegas, I really, really strongly disliked Lonesome Road, I think it was called. I didn't much appreciate Sierra Madre, whatever that one was called.
Identifying criminal vessels. Please assist in pursuit.
I did kind of like Old World Blues.
Short-range
Old World Blues is
transporter.
pretty okay. But Old World Blues was really the only Fallout New Vegas DLC I liked. You've only tried the Long Road DLC and it was bad. Yeah. I did not like... Outside of Old World Blues, I did not like any of Fallout New Vegas' DLC.
Docking granted. Docking
So that's one
aborted.
black mark against it. The other black mark against it is that it was made by Obsidian. Now, a lot of people would say that's a good thing. But the problem is, Obsidian is good at making RPGs, but they're an absolute disaster at making a Bethesda RPG. And while I like RPGs, I also like Bethesda RPGs, and when I fire up a modern Fallout, I expect it to be a Bethesda RPG.
Thank you.
So, as an example,
Thanks for
the
your
way the
help.
companions work in New Vegas is a crime against Bethesda RPGs everywhere. Because to get companion quest, you had to do certain things with that companion and get a certain number of points. Now, keep in mind that all this is hidden from you. I only found out about this because I read wiki and stuff like that. But to get your companion quests to rank up your companion and get their special ability, you would have to basically drag that companion around to certain specific missable events So the companion wasn't there when you did a certain thing. Screw you, you missed that opportunity. Bethesda RPGs don't have missable events. Usually at all. New Vegas had a lot of them. I shouldn't say they didn't have missable events. They didn't have events that like that were missable. Where if you didn't have a certain person along with you, you simply were locked out of that person's
My cargo.
quest forever. But anyway, so that was a big strike against them. You had to somehow read the game dev's mind and have the right companion along with you at the right time if you want to do their quest. I guess it would work out fairly well if you just liked a specific companion and took them with you everywhere you went, but... well, that definitely wouldn't be the way I'd play. So, that's Black Mark number 2. Black Mark number 3, think about it. If you play Skyrim or Fallout 3 or anything like that, have you ever run into an invisible wall? There were invisible walls, but they're usually well disguised. For example, a prominent one that comes to mind, simply because I looked at it in the editor once or twice. There's an invisible wall at the end of the... in Fallout 3, when you go to GNR Plaza for the first time, and the behemoth attacks you, the place where the behemoth comes from, that little corridor or whatever back in there, the alleyway, at the end of the alleyway there's a pile of debris. Well, there's an invisible wall in front of that pile of debris to keep you from climbing up it. But the way the debris piles lays there, if you just went there and didn't know there was an invisible wall there, you would just think that it was just too steep and you couldn't get up it. And you'd kind of be right. But to make absolutely sure that somebody didn't get up it and get into the unexplorable area after all, they just put an invisible wall there. Well, in New Vegas, they just stuck invisible walls wherever. That hill that looks like you can climb it, you get to the top and all of a sudden you discover that across the ridgeline there's an invisible wall that prevents you from going through there, because screw you, that's why. Alright, we need to go on to another spot here.
Ship Technology Factory.
So it just isn't nearly as... I don't know, there's a bunch of other stuff like that too, where they didn't make very good use of the engine. And some of that could be written off as having a bit of a time crunch, but... I don't know, the design just wasn't as good. You couldn't play after the end of the main story. That was a problem with Fallout 3 too, but then they fixed it with the DLC. It was never fixed in New Vegas. And New Vegas was a lot more crashy than Fallout 3 was. And I just didn't like the content as good. It was too much like a traditional RPG and not enough Bethesda RPG. And when I'm playing that specific kind of game and that specific engine, I want it to be a Bethesda RPG, and it wasn't, so I didn't like it. A lot of people disagree with me.
Requesting
Those people are
permission
wrong.
denied. Docking permission granted.
Fallout 4 was a Bethesda RPG. It just had a shitty main quest. And I didn't like how they treated the Brotherhood and the Railroad. Particularly, I didn't like the way they treated the Brotherhood.
Short-range transporter.
But anyway. And we don't talk about Fallout 76. That doesn't exist. It's not real. Hopefully Starfield's good. That's all I have to say. Hopefully Starfield is good. If it's not, I think I'm done with Bethesda. But who knows? Well, I shouldn't say if Starfield's not good, I'm done with Bethesda. I'd probably need to see 6 being bad as well before I was actually done with it. Yeah. If 76 had been more co-op Fallout instead of MMO Fallout, it probably would have been fine. But they had to sacrifice too much to try to get all those players and stuff in, and yeah, just what the world wanted out of a multiplayer Fallout was Fallout co-op, not Fallout MMO. And even worse, shitty Fallout MMO. I've been told it's a lot better now than it used to be, but I don't think I'm going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Just going to pretend it never happened. Yeah, if you can somehow figure out how to make Fallout co-op and still have a good story and all that, I would have been down for that so much. Admittedly, I wouldn't have had anybody to play it with, but I would have been excited by proxy. Oh well. Hopefully Microsoft rides Bethesda's butt pretty hard and makes them stick toe the narrow. Make them do the right thing. Forces them to have good quality assurance.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
I can dream. Problem is, I don't think Microsoft is really that interested in riding hard on their game studios. Oh well. It was portrayed like 3D Scribe and very reclusive in their little hole, the Brotherhood. Yeah, technically, Fallout 4's portrayal of the Brotherhood is more lore accurate than 3's was. But
Docking aborted.
I don't like that there was no way to reconcile the Brotherhood with the, what do you call them? With the Railroad.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
Because the Brotherhood being so strongly against synths just didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It made sense that they'd be suspicious of synths, maybe. But I'm pretty sure there was nothing that would have actually made the Brotherhood against synths.
Docking aborted.
In lore. Maybe keep synths away from everybody non-Brotherhood. Because the Brotherhood's all about technology. As long as it's the Brotherhood's technology. Railroad's garbage, kill them anyway. Kinda. But I would have liked to get the Railroad, be able to reconcile the Railroad and the Brotherhood. I really didn't like the way the Brotherhood was dealt with in Fallout New Vegas. That's another reason why I don't like New Vegas, honestly. Although even there, you were able to reconcile the Brotherhood and the NCR.
Short range.
Because in Fallout
transporter.
2, the NCR and the Brotherhood were portrayed as being fine with each other, more or less. So it didn't really make any sense for me for them to have some kind of giant war. It just didn't make any sense. it might make sense for them not necessarily be best friends, but to fight some random weird war and then the Brotherhood still stay in the area where the NCR are and be hunted down? Like, no. Weird. Bonk. Alright, well, it is after 11 o'clock. I should probably stop. We did hit 9 plus 18, and I missed it. That's actually a good excuse to stop then.
Jump beacon. Press A.
Let's fly down to the,
Thanks for your help.
damn it, what's it called again? Sunspot? Sun something. Sunspot, yep.
Thank you.
Let's go park at the Sunspot. And then I'm probably going to call it for the night. Let's see. Looks like Af and Avi are playing Valheim, and Wasted's playing something called Aquatico? Never heard of it.
Jump completed. Press A.
I might have to raid Wasted just to see what that thing is. They hit it out of control technology and they saw synthetic humans as too far. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't really think they put enough effort into explaining why the Brotherhood hated synths and showing the player why, and it's just kind of weird. They could have handled it much better, let's put it that way.
Docking granted.
They missed a golden opportunity to have a whole thing about why the Brotherhood hated synths, and then have either ways to go along with that or ways to change their mind. Have like some big quest sequence where you could possibly, like, some Brotherhood, like, I think, wasn't there some kind of deal you could do to expose one of the Brotherhood guys as replaced by a synth? I don't remember. But that could have been like a whole quest chain, for example, all about this synth who thinks he's still just a normal member of the Brotherhood. And then, what do? Go recover the, how you have to go try to recover the original from where the Evil Institute has captured them. And you recover the original, and now you have synth dude who's being kept in the brig aboard the Pridwin, and you have original dude. Got him back. Then have a whole deal, decide what to do with them, and synth dude wants to prove himself and show he's not actually evil, and big quest chain where he discovers himself as his own person or something, I don't know. And end up changing the Brotherhood's mind about synths, or at least slightly somehow, and reconcile them with the railroad maybe, or at least get it so you don't have to kill the railroad to finish. They could have done a lot more with the Brotherhood and synths, in my opinion. Or, like when you're going against the Institute, you run into the kid synth. And certain members of the Brotherhood are, how could this kid be evil, kind of thing, and have some kind of quest chain to uncover more information about synths and change the Brotherhood's mind, and now the Brotherhood are all pro-synth, gather them all up, and technology and the Brotherhood, and synths are good kind of thing, or something. As an option, not as a forced thing. You could have a big thing where you can take the Brotherhood down two different paths. One where they hate synths even more, or get even more hardline about them, and one where they become a little bit less hardline about synths, or maybe actually go the other way even. Would have made for an interesting branching story, I think. You could have put the focus of the story much more strongly on the Brotherhood and their reaction to synths, instead of about this stupid find your kid thing. Because the find your kid story just fell emotionally flat with everybody who ran into it. Anyway, that's enough rambling about that. We're gonna raid AF. Screw it. Also, I need to fix end screen. There we go. Now I'm not cutting off the top of my head. /raid. Fighting _1. And it worked. Yay. All right. Thank you all very much for coming. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And I look forward to many more opportunities to discuss all kinds of random things except the game we're playing. Tomorrow's probably going to be a slightly later start than normal because Barotrauma. I might do something before Barotrauma. But Barotrauma will probably start around 9:30 or something. That's usually when AF starts. So I'll probably do something before Barotrauma. We'll definitely be running late. I don't know, maybe I'll play a little Fallout 4 with the all enemies legendary mod or something before that. We'll see. Anyway, something tomorrow, followed by Barotrauma. And then we will play Barotrauma late into the night. Probably midnight or 1 o'clock. Until then, let's all go tell AF that he should be doing something other than sitting on the be right back screen. Good night and goodbye.